This is the Realty Classroom Podcast, episode number 102. Who's managing your business? Are you a real estate agent with an entrepreneurial spirit who wants to turn your job into a business without sacrificing your lifestyle, but you just can't seem to find the right plan to help you get there? Well, then hey, you're definitely in the right place. I'm Danny Griffin, the founder of the Realty Classroom and the host of this podcast. Now, to help you move in a better direction, I've created a free jumpstart course for you over at freeagentgift.com. That's freeagentgift.com. All right. Let's get started in this episode. This is a topic that's near and dear to my heart and is the body of work that I go through every week with my mastermind coaching level members. Who's managing the business? I mean, it's a real serious question. We all do business, and I know a lot of you are top producers out there that are listening to this. You say, well, me. Well, are you really? I mean, are you really managing your business? A good manager is implementing systems, growing systems, so that the vision can be fulfilled and growth keeps happening. But yet so many of you come to me washed ashore after being so beaten up by just doing it, wondering, why am I getting nowhere? Am I not entitled to some growth by now? Doesn't time just allow me to grow? No. Active management does. Becoming a better manager does. Memorializing managed systems does. All those things really help you grow, and they have to be discussed. Stop running. So the first point here is, why do we run away from management? Why is it so difficult a subject to bring up? I bet if I mention social media marketing to you all in a title, or I mention something about Eat That Frog, for example, which was one of the top episodes that I've done, the title alone will get you intrigued and you'll come in. But my gosh, if I ever came through the front door and said, you're not managing your business well enough, and that's why it stinks. I wish somebody had told me that. I was great at doing it, sure, just like a lot of you are, and nobody was managing it. I wasn't building anything. So let me tell you what I've learned, and I can share it with you top producers especially, but even better, if you are a new or newer agent listening to this, please heed this advice from the very get-go, and you will save yourself a lot of time and wasted energy. You see, here's the dirty little secret about us top producers. When we don't manage, no matter how much we produce in gross commission income, a lot of it is going out the door in unnecessary wasted expenses and time. And that's why a lot of us are wondering, can I ever turn this crazy job into a real business? And a lot of you are looking at it from the start saying, how do you start it into a real business? Well, here we go, okay? Number one, any small business person, when they go off and start as an independent contractor or they just start a business cold, there are personality types that you must encompass. And really, I've never met anybody that was birthed into the perfect entrepreneurial balance of personality types, meaning what? There's that visionary, that entrepreneurial spirit, the one who says, hey, I have a great idea that can solve a problem for somebody, and I want to do it on my own. Michael Gerber calls that the entrepreneurial seizure, where you just can't work for anybody else. You say you're unemployable and off you go. Well, that's the entrepreneurial spirit, but then it becomes the visionary where that North Star that I talk about a lot gets set, that I will own a successful business in real estate. And then you start to set some goals, hopefully, and you start to pursue them. But most of you will go right down to this third personality type, which is I would say it's the worker, the technician, as Gerber calls it in his book. That's the person that actually does the finding of the listings, the finding of the buyers, the putting together of the deals, the negotiation, the closing. That person does all that technical work. So we have this great vision to be free and run this business and do all this GCI, and especially when we're independent contractors and we tuck ourselves into a big organization and we get our awards and we tell all our friends, I'm successful as a business person. Well, are you? How do you know? You got the little plaque that said you were a top producer and multi-millions and all that great stuff, and it feels good. I get it. But that's the technician, the person who won the game. But did they really learn anything? Did they build anything? Is anything now repeatable after that yearly victory, that monthly victory, whatever it might be? And the reason I challenge this personality type thing first, because the questions I'm asking don't typically come from the entrepreneur, visionary, or the technical worker. It comes more so from the manager who sweats the details. And you do have to sweat the details. Business is unforgiving. If you don't sweat the details, who is? That's why I say, okay, not you, then who's going to sweat them? What plan are you plugging into that already exists? And that's why I'm obsessed with this body of work, to try to put together a plan. When I give you the call to action, the beginning for the free agent gift, it's the beginnings of helping you think like a manager so you can manage your business. And I make it simple so that you don't run away every time you hear that word. It's a challenge to you. And nobody's coming for you. You know I say that all the time. So somebody has to manage it. It's you. It's not the manager at the office. They're just trying to keep you in line from making mistakes and keep you going. They're not managing your business. Nobody is. You're an independent contractor. So you have to understand that sandwiched between the visionary that you have inside of you to be that entrepreneur, to be freer and be an independent contractor, and then running right out and doing the technical work, the sandwich, that's the bread, but the sandwich meat in the middle, or if you're vegan like I am these days, that vegetable in the middle is the manager. Your veggies are good for you, even though they don't always taste great like broccoli and Brussels sprouts, right? Management is good for you, and it belongs in the middle. So you have to allow for, at least listening to me now in this podcast, be aware. Just become aware. That's all I ask, is be aware that there is a third personality type that we have to exhibit. And first of all, become aware of all three: visionary, manager, and technician. Think about that. In a well-developed business, not such a small entrepreneurial venture like our real estate agent businesses. Think about it in a big business. Well, there's the board of directors. And now there's a bunch of people, say 10, 12 people on a board that drive the vision. And they give direction to the head of operations or vision, head of operation, let's put this right, head of visionary direction, the chief executive officer. So the board and the CEO, they're up in that visionary personality type. Now, who do you think they're looking for answers from? Management. They don't go down to the technical worker on the level of the salesperson and say, hey, where are the numbers? No, the salesperson reports upwards to a management level. Management says, yes, this is in line or not in line with our expectations, talks to the visionary, adjustments are made, and that's how things continue to improve. Simple. So it's necessary. And because we're all alone, we have the burden of being all three of these things. So at least become aware of it, okay? Now, the next point is here, well, now that we're aware that something has to be managed, the obvious question is what? What are you talking about? What am I managing? Well, let's think about it this way. Management starts with just organizing what the technical worker is already doing. So in other words, you have to do some marketing. So if you think about your business as this production line, like a Henry Ford assembly line, you see the beginning of it, that marketing has to happen. I mean, somebody has to know that this company is out there, that you as a business are out there. Why should I do business with you above and beyond all other options, including doing nothing at all? It is a core foundational question that a manager should ask before the plan for marketing is put in place. So we have to get a clear answer to this. You cannot believe how many times I ask really good agents to answer that question, and they start stumbling and fumbling with, well, I market properties better than anybody else in my resume. That's not a managed answer. That's a technical, muscular answer. My company's great. I'm great. That's all what the technical worker talks like, but not the manager. The manager says, well, you tell the public that they should consider doing business with this company because this company has a plan for guidance when they are selling and when they are buying. Those plans are simple, straightforward, and empowering. In fact, we're so confident that this company, that they are helpful to the consumer, we're willing to give them away first so that they can be considered, so that then in turn the company can be considered. Boom. A managed answer, driven and given by the technical worker when asked the question in the field. But it's thought out. It's strategic. So that's an example of managing your marketing, thinking about why you, and then practicing how you say that face to face, on the phone, in your marketing videos. Whatever the venue might be, now at least you have a framework for what this sounds like because you gave it some thought on management. One of the greatest simple management philosophies in the marketing module, which comes first for me, is market. Where are the buyers and sellers that you really want to do business with? Message. We just worked on it. What will you say to them to tell them why you versus all other options? Medium. Upon which medium will you put that message? Will you put it on social and digital? Will you mail it in a postcard? Will you send it in a letter? Will you say it in a telemarketing phone call? You see what I'm saying? What's so rocket science about that? That's what needs to be managed. Now let's presume that those conversations happen and they move into the next module. See, the two simple management modules are marketing and conversion. I mean, without those, there is no closing module. There's no past client community module. Those are the four major modules in my mind's eye. So now all of a sudden you come in and you say, okay, well, conversion is so complicated. Don't I go get this software? And see, there goes the technician again. No. You just say, once we can identify somebody who is willing to listen to our message, somebody who will give us time to allow us to give them our plan, have them consider our plan, let us give some free service to exemplify that we're professional. That's how, in conversion, we take a contact who's known as a lead, meaning we don't know much about their true reason for buying or selling, and we don't know about their motivation on a scale of 1 to 10. But once we determine that with them, in this exchange of value early on, we may prospect them. Meaning turn them into somebody who has now revealed their timing and motivation and is willing to listen to us a little bit further so that down the line we have an opportunity to convert them to the final disposition of conversion, which is a client. That's it. So I've really shown you 6 major beats in 2 modules, and which I've talked about in another episode. I'm not going to go down there. I'm just saying, look, you see how easy this is? It's not complicated. There's nothing to run away from. In fact, if you embrace it, you're like, oh my gosh, doesn't that sound like the ultimate time management formula? Isn't management in some simple beats saving me time? And if it saves me time because of a plan, isn't it saving me money? Am I not making more money because now my GCI is being done more efficiently? Hello, Business 101. No rocket science here. No hidden secret in the vault of Fort Knox. This is just straightforward stuff. So what I was just talking about is point number 3 here. Then just work on the bigger rocks. Put the big rocks in the jar first. And even if you've been around this business for a long time, will you sit still and take a moment to stop running after every idea or jumping from this brokerage to the next because they have this and that one doesn't have that? Stop. It's not going to improve your business or the people on your team or in your downline, whatever they might be. Slow down. Put some big managed rocks in the jar that are easy. I just went through those a little bit. I talked about marketing and I talked about conversion. If there are 2 major rocks to at least consider and be aware of, it is those things. Where are the people that own the properties at the right price for my model? What will I say to them as to why they should list with me? That doesn't sound like me. It sounds more like here's the plan. Here's what I do for my clients. Here's what I'd like to show you we do and could do for you. See, those are big rocks. And it just means take a beat to think about how this is happening to you now. And especially if you're a rookie, are you running out there to have these conversations haphazardly, or are you listening to me and trying what I'm telling you to do? Because I love it when you do what I tell you to do, because if it doesn't work, guess whose problem it is? Mine. Send me an email. Danny.griffin@therealtyclassroom.com. Say it worked. It didn't work. What do you think? I'd even feature some of that right here if there'd be some engagement. But where's everybody running to? Must be some big field somewhere where you're all out there just making it up as you go along. I'd love to find that field because I'd love to give you a simple message to save yourself. The big rocks are marketing intentionally and converting intentionally. And you don't need that many in your marketing and conversion modules. In other words, when you go out to market, you don't need to go buy the most expensive lead platform only to get a whole bunch of whimsical inquiries versus real leads, and it's somehow magically going to zip them through a non-existent conversion funnel that's never been intentional, and voila, you're wealthy. It doesn't work like that. In fact, it doesn't work that well for top producers who are always discombobulated. People are coming and going, and it's chaos. I know. I train them. I've seen their income statements. Slow down. Get some big rocks in the jar and manage them. In fact, they're already in the jar. They're just unmanaged. Marketing, conversion. Marketing, conversion. And then to help you go with a couple more big rocks. And again, in the freeagentgift.com, I give you this module so you have a pictorial of this. You won't forget what modules I'm talking about. You'll see the big rocks. Download the infographic if you do nothing else. Put it up. I know I can protect you because you'll remember you're moving along an assembly line to produce a happy past client. So when you finally get that client into closing, you really, really pay close attention to folks there. You cross T's, you dot I's, and if I have it my way, you'll hire a closing coordinator per transaction to help you, leverage you to spend more time with the client during this harrowing moment, and they can make sure they cross T's and dot I's about critical dates, deadlines, and money to remind you. So that when you do finally birth that person into the past client module, the fourth big rock, they're happy with you. And what does a happy past client do if you stay in touch with them consistently and automatically? They say, thanks, I'd like to repeat with you. Thanks, I'd like to refer you. And that is the accelerant to this whole thing that makes it stand on its real 2 feet for this repeat and referred. And it's not one versus the next. All you referral agents out there that say, I'm by referral only. What? What are you talking about? You always need new business to come in. Especially if it's being referred, they're referring you somebody you don't know. So think, these are managed modules that protect you forever, okay? Next, this is a long-term personality type that can protect you. This isn't something you do to set it up or come back in to restructure. If you allow for these 3 beats, and again, to sit there consciously, if there's 3 major rocks for the personality type, again, it's visionary, it's manager, and it's technician or salesperson. That's it. So just to take a beat to think, how am I doing? Is my vision still clear? Do I see the gross commission income? And then do I take a look at, am I being effective in managing the expenses to do so and turning a profit? And if I'm not, what needs to be better managed? Am I wasting marketing money? Or am I getting leads and never converting them? Or am I not really paying attention during closing and deals are falling out and I'm creating angry past clients? Very simple. All that's very simple. But if you do it consistently and you make it a part of your approach to this business, you're doing it for the long run. And if you will allow for the manager to be involved in your business in the long run, then you'll just be so well served. And again, you're going to be shocked. There is so much to be said about less is more, presuming the less is clear, it's quality, it meets what you really would like to do business around and about, and then you keep it consistent. You don't need as much as you think you do. You just need to do a better job and then keep it going. This is why they call a business a going concern. If you've ever heard that term, it's a going concern, meaning as the manager, I'm always concerned about how my business is doing so that I walk up and down as the general manager, all these modules and say, how we doing? And if one of these big rocks looks like it needs attention, marketing, then I'm going to lean in on marketing this week, this month, this quarter. And if it looks like conversion, I'm definitely going to lean in on that. But if I keep coming back and spending a little bit of time as the manager working on the business, on those systems, then guess who has an easier time? The lunatic salesperson who's trying to meet the goals of reaching GCI. But all of a sudden, everything becomes easier at that level if it's managed. It does. I know that. I am you. I do this for a living still as I record these podcasts. I'm active in all of these levels so that I have my hands on this, and I know it makes it easier. In fact, when I look at my internal team at the Griffin Realty Group for my own book of business, between Autumn making the telemarketing calls, Laura doing the client care manager work, and me in the middle as the outside sales agent, when you look at us doing this, I look at those two and I say, I want to make your life easier. What can we do to manage what you do better? Do we need simple, better steps? Do we need to bring in technology? What do we need to do? I would like to make it easy on them. Why? They're happier. They're more productive. We get more done in less time so everybody lives a better life. That's why management. All right, let me just hit these bullet points. Who's managing your business revolves around these topics. There is a missing personality type. It is the manager in between the visionary and the technician. What needs management? Modules. Marketing and conversion especially, then into closing and past client community. They all need to be managed. You work on the bigger rocks by looking at those things now and just simply becoming aware of what you're not doing intentionally to make them better. And then in the long run, let this inner manager birth themselves and never go away. And you're going to be shocked. You'll get addicted to this kind of thing because you know it works once you see it. So the key point summarized like this. The biggest pandemic we see in the business of a top producer's business, or anybody for that matter, is the lack of a clear management responsibility. While many agents believe they are managing their business, they are in fact abdicating the responsibility and hoping it all works out while never fully taking charge. I know this because this is the body of work I do with top producers. So make room, please, for your inner manager and let that persona evolve without running away. All right, remember, you can take immediate action to get moving in this better direction by going over and getting our free simple business plan, which is waiting for you at freeagentgift.com. Please at least download the infographic and stick it up on your wall so you see these 3 levels. I have a little mini business infographic built around this thinking so it reminds you how to manage this all. Because I know it seems like a lot when I say it, but if you look at one picture, there it is. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you might be listening so that you don't miss out on any insights each time we upload an episode. We also broadcast our live sales training calls on Facebook and YouTube every Friday at 1 o'clock EDT. So remember, turn on your page and channel notifications on those channels for the Realty Classroom, and you won't miss the reminders. And you can listen to us do the technical work. I know you want to hear about telemarketing and outside sales and negotiation. We let you listen in. We'd also appreciate if you would share our content, please, with other entrepreneurial real estate agents just like you, so they get the help that they need when they need it. Hey, thanks for listening. Now remember, you know what I say because I'm going to say it again. Nobody's coming for you. So go get to work on your own business, and I'll see you in the next episode.